Assalamu alaikum students. I am Muhammad Amjad, lecturer, Department of Education and Psychology, Kohat University of Science and Technology. I am your instructor for the course Theories of Personality. I welcome you to lecture number 12 of your course. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss Carl Jung Theory of Personality Part 2. Let's start our lesson. First of all, look at the contents which we are going to discuss in our today's lecture. We will discuss ego. We will also discuss conscious and unconscious. We will discuss archetypes, personality typology, personality development, assessment and intervention, and critical evaluation. Let's discuss the important concept of Jung's theory, which is ego. So what is ego according to Carl Jung? Carl Jung said that ego is our every conscious experience. He said that it is our thinking, our feeling, remembering, perceiving. So it is responsible for everything we do. He said that it is our sense of identity. For example, all your daily activities and your personal identity as a student of Kohat University are due to ego. Basically, ego is responsible for our everyday functions and activities. And the next concept of Jung's theory is personal unconscious. What is personal unconscious? Personal unconscious consists of repressed or forgotten or not very vivid or clear memories. It consists of clusters of emotionally loaded thoughts which Jung labeled as complex. Students, a complex is a personally disturbing cluster of ideas connected together by a common feeling or emotions. For example, the mother complex or the father complex or the power complex or the money complex. It is a thought which is given a lot of importance by the person, and he would invest a lot of energy in activities related with the mother complex or any other which is important to him. Jung reformed Wundt's word association test. This test reveals and detects complexes by studying the common response pattern among mother and daughter, father and son, thus showing that a family background has an influence in forming the concept of complex. The next concept of Jung theory is the collective unconscious. What is collective unconscious? It refers to our ancestral experience, memories from untold millions of years. So it is fragments of all human history that we inherited from our forefathers. Jung labeled these ancestral experiences as archetypes. So what is an archetype? An archetype is an inherited predisposition to respond to certain aspects of the world in certain ways. This concept is crowning principle of Jung's theory. Jung gives us following archetypes: persona, anima, animus, shadow, and self. So let's see one by one. Now we will discuss archetypes. So let's discuss the first archetype, which is persona. What is persona? Persona means mask. It is a Greek word which means mask or cover, which the actors used to wear on the stage. It refers to individuals' public personality. It is our very polite and full of manner public personality. Person may deceive other people, but it is only a small part of our psyche. It should not be mistaken and taken as the complete whole person. The persona and the real person, that is the public personality and the real personality, should be closer to one another for a good, healthy adjustment. Now we will discuss next archetype, which is anima. Students, this is the female component of male psyche. It comes into existence because of the experience that women have had with men over centuries. It facilitates women to have the better understanding of the other gender. Secondly, it provides a framework within which males interact with females. And the next archetype of Jung's theory is animus. Students, animus is the masculine component of female psyche. The male who has a strong animus would help him in taking care of all domestic chores which females are competent in. Then the next archetype is shadow. It is the darkest, deepest part of the psyche, or the animal side of the human psyche. As the word shadow shows, it is the evil, the monster, the destructive, damaging, revengeful side of you and me. Self. The next archetype of Jung's theory is self. The self is that component of psyche that strives to unite, harmonize, and integrate all components of the psyche into one whole. When this process takes place, we say that individual has self-actualized or he has achieved life goal. And the next component of Jung's theory is the psychological types. Even those people who have not read Jung are familiar with his famous psychological types, which are discussed in his famous book, The Psychological Types, published in 1921. Students, types refers to orientation or the way an individual interacts with other people. His main focus is on two types, introverts and extroverts. The introverts are quite imaginative, more interested in staying at home alone, reading or enjoying one's own company. The introverts are usually labeled as self-centered or bookworms and preferring indoor activities. On the other hand, extroverts tend to be sociable, outgoing, and interested in parties, picnics, people and group activities. They are the ones who love to be socialized and visit others rather than staying alone. Along with these two orientations, there are some four functions of our thinking process as well, such as sensing, thinking, feeling, intuiting. So we get 8 types of people, such as thinking extrovert, feeling extrovert, sensing extrovert, intuiting extrovert, thinking introvert, feeling introvert, sensing introvert, and intuiting introvert. Now we will discuss another concept, life goal. So what is life goal according to Carl Jung? He said that the goal of life is the harmony of the psyche, that is combining various parts of the personality into one. This is also called the transcendent great function of the self. And the next concept is individuation. On the other hand, individuation is exact opposite of the life goal. And the next one is causality. What is causality? According to Jung, adult personality should be understood in terms of past experiences, which guide us and provide solution to our problems, but our behavior is also guided by teleology, that is, human behavior is always guided by past as well as by future. So past experiences push us forward and future goals pull us ahead. Now we will discuss Carl Jung's stages of development. And the first stage is childhood. The time duration of this stage is from birth to adolescence. During this stage, the psychic energy is used in learning to walk, to talk, and other skills of survival. After that, this energy is spent in learning to educate. And next stage is young adulthood. The time duration of this stage is from adolescence to 40 years. During this stage, one selects one's profession, gets married, raise children, and relate to community. At this stage, person is usually energetic, outgoing, passionate, and loving. After young adulthood stage, the next stage is middle ages. The time duration of this stage is from about 40 years to later years. This is the most important stage because almost all biological and physical needs are satisfied, and now individual strives to find meanings in life. So after material development, spiritual development begins to take shape. After this stage, the last stage is life after retirement. At this stage, after active work, one finds refuge in the need to help others. So, the task of finding a new meaning provides energy to continue living further. Now we will discuss assessment and intervention and different type of techniques used by Carl Jung. The first technique is word association test. He redesigned Wundt's word association test and used it extensively with his patients. The second technique he used is dream analysis. For Jung, a dream is just what it appears to be. It provides individual with an awareness and understanding of his problem and solution to the problem as well. And the third is goal of life. What is goal of life for Jung? For Jung, personal unconscious, collective unconscious, and archetypes are very important. The unity of all these into self is the goal of life. Now we will do some critical evaluation. We will compare Carl Jung theory with Sigmund Freud theory. Sigmund Freud theory is biological in nature, but Carl Jung theory is psychological and social in emphasis. Sigmund Freud emphasis on sex and aggression. Carl Jung emphasis on unification of different components of the psyche. For Sigmund Freud, dreams have manifest and latent meaning. For Carl Jung, dreams are what in an individual sees them. For Sigmund Freud, stages of development are 5, beginning from birth till adolescence. For Carl Jung, stages of development are 4, focuses from birth till retirement. In Sigmund Freud's theory, psychological types are not provided. In Carl Jung's theory, psychological types are provided, and these are introverts and extroverts. These are the references. Students, it's all about for today's lecture. I hope you will read it and understand. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.